Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Infiniti, and if you don't know, I'm the face, the voice, and the hands behind all the content here under Infiniti Crafting Co. and behind the website InfinityCraftingCompany.com. Welcome to episode 124. This is channel chat 124, aka day 7 of Vlogust. It's kind of wild that a week has gone by already. This whole month is just gonna roll right past us. Anyway, today's topic will be what I like to design. Like I said, it kind of lends to yesterday's topic as to what I like to sit up and make and crochet. The short of it, it's just as varied as what I like to crochet. So we'll get into it in a little bit. I do have a pot for the day, and I'm really excited to show this one off. It's one of my favorite, more subtle pieces among the ones that I have put out so far this year. If you haven't been tuning in, or if you haven't checked it out yet, I do pottery, and I've been putting out my yarn bowls and other pots and such for the craft room out on my channel. So if you want to support and get something cool and unique for your craft space, then you can head over to my website, which is linked in the description box below, and check something out for yourself today. I'm also running a sale for the month of August for 15% off your purchase, so just enter in the code BTS23 into the little box at checkout, and you can get that applied to your order. I'm trying to remember, I don't think I stayed up that late last night. Though I did wake up in the night feeling unwell, but nonetheless, I went to bed at a decent time, and but before I did, I managed to finish out the body of my water bottle holder that I'm making. It's not for me personally, it's just to go on the website, but the red and black was speaking to me, so I needed to do it. I needed to do the thing. And this morning, whilst drinking my coffee, I finished the strap, and I fray checked it after I wove in all my ends, so I get to snip these off, and then I can weave in all of my ends, and not weave in all of my ends, I get to weave the straps into the body, and then take pictures in it and all that. Speaking of water bottle holders, this has nothing to do with the rest of the video, but this one has been holding up really good. It's not stretched out. The bottom still looks great. I am very happy with the results of my Shark Week water bottle holder. And its little buddy that fits the 32-ounce sizes. Oh, I left the paper over here. My 32-ounce water bottle holders, they hold water bottles that measure 3.25 to 3.5 inches in diameter. That one is still available on my website. So if this looks good to you, then that is also there. I did a batch update, right? So the whole thing with August is that, for one, I've been trying to motivate myself to actually take my product pictures, because you know, when you're a one-man band, it gets kind of exhausting doing all the things, but it's kind of fun doing all the things. Anyway, product pictures end up being the last thing on my to-do list almost all the time, unless I just take them immediately after they're done. But given the nature of ceramics and all of the crafting that I do, I don't really get a chance to do that until the last minute anyway. So releasing a pot a day, or more or less, in August has been a way for me to get the lead out, to get the rest of my pieces from the last session photographed and put out there so that they can find new homes outside of the studio. I had a point, and I lost it. Oh my gosh. You know, maybe it'll come back to me later what that point was going to be. This happens more often than I would like to admit. But anyway, I think basically it's just been fun taking a photo per day here in August and putting it up in the shop. I don't know how often I would do this kind of thing, probably only on special occasions, or if I am super backed up with product pictures or something like that, would I do this. Probably not every month, you know, kind of thing. So anyway, enough rambling. Like I said yesterday, what I like to crochet and knit, and then what I like to design, they kind of go hand in hand. I don't have any specific favorite thing that, like one specific object that I prefer to design. I don't have a specific favorite yarn weight that I like to design with. But I will tell you about something that is kind of consistent with what I design with. So there's something, but it doesn't mean that it's my favorite thing. So I like to design garments, right? I know we're all shocked here. But it's something about just being able to wear things that I've made with my hands that brings me a lot of gratification and joy. So I do it because of that. So a little bit of a backstory. Most of my wardrobe is black and gray and black. And so being able to make these very specific garments in these wild colors and patterns and such really just gives my wardrobe a pop when I do get to wear it. And I think it surprises people a little bit because I'm not ultra colorful. And I'm also not super animated. So, like, basically what you get here on camera is what you get in person. I'm very chill, very, quiet, to myself kind of person. Very introverted and shy, to be honest. But, nonetheless, I think that sometimes I get to speak through my accessories or my other, like, things like sweaters mostly. But, yeah. So in that, I don't have a favorite yarn to use when I design things. Like I said in one of the other channel chats, I like to design with yarns that are accessible more so. So when I'm sharing my patterns, other people don't have a hard time getting the fibers that I'm calling for in the pattern. And something that I thought about a couple years ago, and I'm like, sometimes when you call for specific specific yarns and patterns, people get kind of put off by that. I don't know how common that is, but one of the little touches that I started adding to my patterns was trying to incorporate, what am I trying to say? Trying to incorporate substitutions a little bit, or I will just generalize, hey, this 4-weight yarn and this or that. I find that the Super Saver yarns are one of the most common, if not the most common yarn that people end up crocheting with, at least in the beginning, or knitting with in the beginning, because it's literally everywhere. And so a lot of times when I design things, I will start off with that. I'm looking at my garment rack of things that I've made, and yeah, a lot of them are made with yarns that you can get just at any local Joann or Michaels or craft store, basically. Now, I do have some patterns that are specifically designed with specific yarn, like the Fresh Peaks vest I'm making, or the cardigan that I showed you guys like on day 1 that I'm designing. There is the Breath of Autumn pocket shawl, which I haven't started on. And we'll see about starting on that one this year. Oh my gosh. This whole video project is going to be pushed out for a while. Even longer if stuff doesn't work out. It's going to take even longer to get those videos out there. But we'll see. I'll touch more on that tomorrow. So yeah, I just mostly like designing things to wear. I've dabbled in making non-wearable things. I will make blankets, I will make bookmarks, I will make things that are not clothes, but I think ultimately I like to be very practical when I craft. For the most part, I'm looking at this dress that I started knitting and I have not finished it. It is not practical at all. It has hoop skirts in it, so I might have told a fib there. But anyway, I like to be very practical with the things that I make, also because I have very limited space. I, over the years, have created the illusion of having a large craft space, but in reality, I kind of don't. So I have to think about the things that I make for inventory, and that goes for both the crochet knit stuff and the pottery stuff, because that's where I'm having to find space for a new shelf. I have to get a new shelf at some point so that I can store all my pottery and whatnot on it in a safe way. So, fun times, fun business stuff. But so sweaters, tees on the occasion, cover-ups, things like that, cardigans mostly, because I like to be able to be unhindered in my movements. So cardigans are really optimal for me. Shawls, I do like shawls, though I wear most of them as triangle scarves, I think, except for one occasion. I wore it like an actual shawl, but I think it was like a banquet or something I went to. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at this shelf. Not the shelf. I'm looking at this rack. There was one time that I knit my outfit for attention. So, some of you might have seen some of the stuff that I have designed, and y'all might be thinking, like, aren't they all literally for attention? You could make that argument, but there is one very specific outfit that I knit in Lion Brand Landscapes back in 2019. It was for a portfolio day event. Now, the story behind that would be that I had just graduated that summer, and I was trying to get into a university. And so portfolio day, being an art student, is kind of that time where representatives from universities come out and to see your work, evaluate you. You get scholarship offerings and things like that, or correspondence and stuff. So I wanted to be noticed. So I knitted my outfit. I made like a kimono, what do they call it, shrug, and I knitted a skirt, and I paired it with a black blouse and some heel boots that I regret walking in to this day. Like, they didn't do any damage, but they were very uncomfortable. After a while, I just took them off. So anyway, so it was very, very colorful. I still have it. I have not worn it since. I haven't really had a reason to wear it out since. I think I wore it a couple times on camera to show people what it looked like, but outside of that, it's not the most practical thing to wear, but I do love it. And maybe one day I will bring it back around when I have to stand. But at the end of the day, that did work out for me. I got to talk to the colleges I wanted to talk to, and I actually ended up at one of the very universities that I spoke to. So, all's well that ends well. I feel like my wardrobe, by the time I don't think I'll ever stop crocheting, even if I do stop recording videos, but I think by the end of my lifetime, my whole wardrobe will give off Miss Frizzle vibes from the Magic School Bus, and I'm not upset by that. And I guess kind of going into that, I don't really crochet, design, or knit. English is hard. I don't really make stuff that's trendy. There we go. So, like, a lot of times I'll like scroll on Instagram, or I'll get sent a TikTok or something, and so I've always been a plus size girl, and growing up the way that I did, I've always dressed more modestly and more conservatively, so there's just some stuff that I don't feel comfortable with designing or like stitching, knowing that I personally wouldn't wear them myself. So that being said, that's why y'all get all the lovely sweaters and things like that. It's like, there's nothing I can do with a bralette, or like some of these tank tops that I see that are so trendy and popular. There's like literally nothing that I could do with that. I personally wouldn't want to model it. I felt self-conscious modeling the Genesis top and the Summer Ecstasy cover-up that I did. I don't like showing a lot of skin. And, to each their own, but that's just not my thing. So, I suppose a lot of the trends that I won't be a part of, won't be able to jump in on, because I don't like to wear those things. So yeah. Now, if I could ever sit down, chill out, and actually have my schedule cleared out, I would probably design a knitted t-shirt or something like that. But like, as far as all the like open chest things, I just don't find them to be very practical, because it's like, how do you move in them? And then if you have a bigger bust like I do, you're not gonna be able to wear that without a bra. So so anyway, I don't think that's much of a big deal. I've never had someone just kind of rag on me for not having a certain selection of designs in my library, so I'm glad for that. Maybe I'm not noticeable enough for that at this point, which is, I guess, fine in that sense. But yeah, so I don't know. I like to design things that also bring joy, or that are fun and a little wacky sometimes. So the Christmas sweater from last year was me recreating not only the first Christmas sweater that I ever crocheted which I did in 3 days. But I also just wanted to be obnoxious with it because I absolutely love the Christmas season, Thanksgiving holiday, that whole era right there is just my thing. I don't really care for Halloween that much, and I guess maybe another time I'll talk about that, or probably not even part of Vlogmas, but I'll describe that at another point. But anyway, so I like to be obnoxious with my joyful spirit, and if I can do that through my clothes, then hey, it's a win. I also get asked about what inspires me to crochet specific pieces, and to be honest, a lot of my designs are whimsical, or I'll see one stitch and decide that that is going to be my personality for the next year while I design said pattern. So you know, like the entrelac sweaters that I made that I think I popped into view yesterday, I still have a very close relationship with that stitch. It's time consuming, yes, but I still have like a pattern or two in the back of my mind that I would like to create using that stitch. No way soon though. I haven't even begun. Oh my gosh, did I even write down the instructions for? I don't know. I feel like I hand wrote them, so I haven't actually typed them out yet. So maybe that's another topic I'll touch on in the future, is how I actually go through the process of designing stuff, because it's not all that complicated, but I feel like in my mind right now it seems like a very complicated puzzle, but I know it's not. So maybe I'll talk about it another day. Tomorrow's going to be fun because I actually got a community question off of Instagram, and I am very excited about this one. It's from somebody that I know, actually, that I went to school with, and so I'm excited to address that one over there. I haven't heard from her in a long time, so cool beans on that one. I am so stoked for that. So again, if you guys want me to cover specific topics, or if you have any general specific question for me, then you want to see it answered on one of these vlogs throughout the month of August, then please do leave your commentary, whether it's on Facebook or if it's on Instagram or if it's here. I might even put the Q&A thing up on the community tab, even though people sadly just ignore it for the most part. I don't understand. But anyway, now I'm going to jump into the pot of the day. Alright, drum roll, the pot of the day. So, funny thing about this piece and one of the yarn bowls that I haven't shown you guys yet in earnest, I named the yarn bowl first, and now suddenly I have a few pieces of similar coloration that all have names that start with the letter M, and they're all very old names. So, you know, they just give me that almost Cruella de Vil kind of 1930s, 1920s kind of vibes. So I'm rolling with it. This one is Maud. And I can tell by the shape of this exactly which one this is. In my mind, some of my pieces are more memorable than others, which I think that's any artist. So anywho, this one has a unique shape to it. She has a little flat piece, odd, with the, again, dipped in the black and the red, and she was wood fired, and I can tell because not that the bottom is burned. Unlike a lot of the other wood fired pieces, this one has no flashing on it. Simply the red started turning gray, and I have a piece that has a burned bottom, and I can tell it was red because the whole piece turned this pearlescent white in the fire. And so I'll be showing that off eventually, probably after, well, most definitely after I get through all of the pieces in this wood crate, and I think there were like 14. So somewhere in the later half of the month you'll get to see those pieces that are over there on my photo table. So this is Maud. Nonetheless, I wanted to really play, like I said, with the black and the red, and it was kind of a challenge too. Not in a way that was hard, but like a challenge to authority, because like my professor was telling me that the black would turn purple if it was paired with the red, and I just wanted to be like, nah. So that's what I did. I got a few pieces in the black and red, just in case he was actually right, in case the man that's been doing ceramics for like 30 years actually knew what he was talking about. I wanted to make sure I didn't screw up my pieces. So that's what I did, and I really like this piece. Something about the black and the red, though, in the firings on all of these black and red pieces, they have these little spots that are like a greenish gold, and it almost looks like cells, like biology cells under a microscope, and I like that added detail. It was totally not intentional, but nonetheless quite lovely. And so I took several pictures of her, so if you want to see all of them, I will leave the link to Mod in the comment section and the description box below so that you can check it out if you want to support the channel and all of that wonderfulness. She is, of course, a Notion holder, so in the pictures you'll see her full of stitch markers. And if you've been looking for my lower priced items as far as the pottery goes, these Notion bowls and such are definitely part of that, as well as likely the stoneware pieces. There are a few more pieces that will be not quite as high as the yarn bowls, so if you've still been wanting pieces from me but can't quite afford it, even with like the discounts and stuff, those are my kind of lower price pieces for you guys. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today. If so, don't forget to leave this video a thumbs up, share this video, like and subscribe so you don't miss out on my future crafty content. Not only do I do these podcast vlog thingies, I also do knit and crochet tutorials. I'm a continental knitter. I need to talk about that one. Future video. But I'm a continental knitter, and of course I just teach crochet. So if you're interested in learning new stitches, the occasional project, and whatnot, then join me, become part of my community. I'd love to have you here, love to see you here. We are almost at 13K here on YouTube, so that's exciting. Thanks everybody for supporting my content over here, and thank you everybody on Rumble that has subscribed and joined my community as well. We are almost at 25K over there, so that is really awesome. Huge community. Y'all are full of love and support. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to stop rambling, keeping you guys up. See you tomorrow, and until then, happy making. Okay, I am stupidly close to getting the Mountain Forager shrug pattern up on the members club, so if you haven't signed up for that yet, you might want to consider that. $6 a month.